Hello, San Jose. We're at the Santa Clara County Administration Building today, and we are addressing the issues of Jeff Rosen and misconduct and waste of taxpayer dollars and just not doing his job for the people of Santa Clara County. I'm Edward Escobar. I'm the founder of the Coalition for Community Engagement, and we are presenting this event here in conjunction with the NAACP of the Silicon Valley chapter. So immediately we have our first speaker is Daniel Chung. He is a prosecutor here in Santa Clara County. Daniel Chung.
Yeah, before I speak, Sean, you want to talk first? Sean from the NAACP, he's the president of NAACP Silicon Valley. He'll give the first remarks.
Good afternoon. I'm Sean Allen, president of the San Jose Silicon Valley NAACP. The NAACP was founded in response to violations of civil rights among Black people. But the work of this organization has always extended to the defense of civil rights for all people. Standing against anti-Semitism and Islamophobia, anti-LGBTQ discrimination, and discrimination against people of color, and standing for the equity and equal protection of every person under the law. Last week, Santa Clara County Superior Court judge took the extraordinary step of disqualifying District Attorney Jeff Rosen and his entire office for retrying the Stanford protest case. Judge Kelly Paul found the conflict so grave as to render it unlikely that the defendants would receive fair treatment. She found that this was not, in her words, a disinterested prosecution. That is a judicial finding by a sitting judge in this county that the elected district attorney's decisions in a high-profile case were influenced by personal bias and a failure to remain objective. The Stanford defendants were protesters speaking in support of Palestine and against the murder of innocent people within a conflict in the Middle East. This district attorney's office insisted on retrying them on property damage and conspiracy charges after the first jury trial deadlocked. The court has now found that that decision was not disinterested. By contrast, in the case of Michael Tyree, a mentally ill young man beaten to death in Santa Clara County Jail by 3 deputy sheriffs, the district attorney's office declined to retry that case after the murder conviction was overturned. Instead, it accepted a plea agreement that allowed 3 deputy sheriffs who admitted to killing Michael Tyree to serve only 7 years. Complete conscious disregard for human life. When the judiciary itself finds a lack of objective in one case, the community has a responsibility to ask whether the same lack of objectivity affects other decisions across his office. This complaint the branch has received and the data in the branch's review give us the reason to ask that question. The branch has received multiple complaints from members of the Muslim and the Palestinian community, and the district attorney's office own data reflects the same pattern within Black and brown communities being aggressive towards those communities. And when those communities complain of being victimized, there's a lack of assertion by the office of the district attorney to find them justice. Under district attorney's leadership, decisions emerging from his office have repeatedly demonstrated a lack of objectivity. Those decisions affect lives, they affect families, and they cost the taxpayers of the county significant money in trials, in retrials, appeals, disqualifications, and civil liabilities. First, the NAACP is asking an independent review of charging and prosecution patterns in this office under his leadership, conducted by a body outside of Santa Clara County. Second, transparent public reporting of racial and religious disparities in charging, plea offers, and sentencing recommendations. Third, the routing of conflicted matters to the Attorney General's office. Every community in this county is entitled to equal protection under the law. Equal vigor when its members are accused, and equal vigor when its members are harmed. That is the principle the NAACP has always stood for, and that is the principle the branch is asking for this county to uphold, the voters to uphold. It's up to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Kevin Park, council member.
Oh, my name is Kevin Park, and I'm a council member for the city of Santa Clara, but I'm talking for myself. when Jeff Rosen talks about ethics, and he talks about ethics quite a bit, he's not really talking about ethics. What he's really doing is he's distracting from all the things that he's doing. Like, instead of talking about ethics, instead of accusing people and telling other people what they should do to be ethical, he really needs to look at what he is doing, what his staff is doing. Santa Clara has had more, civil grand jury investigations, and we're going to have more this year as well, maybe during summertime, because it's an election year. Because Jeff Rosen's not about freedom; he's about friends and finances. He's not really about reform. He's about revenge. He's about vendettas. Jeff Rosen, finally, for the first time, has somebody who could possibly have a better background and be a better prosecutor, be a better lawyer, better attorney than himself. And he does the thing that we always expect, which is he will attack, he will create accusations, he will distract. And we need less of this. We need less police, we need more programs, we need more opportunities. And I think that Jeff Rosen has not done this. He's not a reformer. He's doing the same things that we've always done, and he's doing it for his friends. When his investigations fall short of accusing the people that he knows, the people that have supported him, we know it is not about justice, it's about himself. Thank you.
Next is Tony LeBou, who is a brother of a murder victim.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for having me here today. Jeff Rosen also claims that he lacks funding to prosecute these criminals, and he's blaming the Santa Clara County supervisors and the Santa Clara County taxpayers, you. In reality, that's a lie. What's really happening is the main reason for his budget shortfalls is coming from his quest to overturn the rights of victims by overturning murderers' convictions. Now, we're not talking about petty theft. We're talking about actual murderers that have been convicted in Santa Clara County of murdering our residents and our citizens. And he has done everything in his power to overturn these convictions of 15 murderers. He is trying to put these people back on the street with your children in mind, and that's wrong. That's the lie that he's trying to portray, that it's the Santa Clara County and the taxpayers not funding it. He is wasting our dollars, wasting all of our tax-paying dollars by challenging the convictions that were done 20, 30 years ago. This is wrong. He needs to go. This is not the appropriate actions of a district attorney in Santa Clara County. He's supposed to be fighting for the victims' rights. Instead, he's working for the criminals, not for victims. We as victims have to hire our own attorneys, our own counsel to fight the district attorney's office, which is doing the job of the criminal, of the of the defendant's jobs. It's ridiculous. Jeff Rosen is not about victims. He's about getting criminals back on the street to make your streets worse than they are right now. Thank you, Daniel.
Next up is Margaret Petros, a victim advocate.
Hello, my name is Margaret Petros, and I stand before you not just as a concerned resident, but as a taxpayer who pays nearly $60,000 a year just on property taxes. I am someone who spent over 4 decades as a victim advocate. I chose this work. I became experienced, efficient, and deeply committed to protecting victims and to uphold justice. And that's exactly why I'm here today. Because what I'm seeing from our district attorney's office, led by our elected DA, Jeff Rosen, is deeply troubling. As a prosecutor, has one core responsibility: to seek justice, uphold the law, and protect victims while ensuring fairness in the system. But we see, and I personally have seen for decades, that Jeff Rosen's leadership does not focus on the mission, and priorities just shift unpredictably. Real people get hurt. Take, for example, the involvement in services like medical examination and mental health support. These are sensitive, critical functions that must remain independent to protect the integrity of both care and prosecution. When those lines are blurred, it creates risk, not just for cases, but for the very victims that we're supposed to protect. And we've seen what happens with conflicts of interest. And actually, I think the public does not have a clue of what I know about what's happening to crime victims. They need to listen, especially before they vote this time around. Enough is enough. This is not about politics. This is about direction, judgment, and accountability. It's time to refocus on what the role of the prosecutor truly is. And it's time to demand better for victims, for justice, and for our community. Thank you.
Next up.
Thank you, Daniel. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much all for coming here today. My name is V Dang. I'm running for San Jose City Council District 5. Today, I stand with all the fellow community leaders who care about the people in Santa Clara County. We are here because accountability matter. We are here because any tyrannical behavior in our justice system, because the cost is not about money. It hurts us, it harms victims, and it puts the heavy burden on taxpayers and for all of us. We deserve better. We deserve transparency. We deserve leaders whose we can trust. We deserve a system that puts people first. Today, we demanding change. Today, we are demanding accountability. We are calling to restore the public trust. I am committed to bring transparency, safety, and trusted leadership back to our communities. My name is V Dang. I'm running for San Jose City Council District 5. And allow me to say something Vietnamese. Xin chào tất cả quý vị. Xin cảm ơn quý vị đã đến đây trong buổi sáng ngày hôm nay. Tôi tên là Vi Đan. Tôi đang tranh cử cho Hội đồng thành phố San Jose khu vực 5. Hôm nay tôi rất tự hào đến đây với tất cả những lãnh đạo của cộng đồng, những người mà quan tâm đến Hội đồng thành phố, quan tâm đến người dân của Santa Clara County. Chúng tôi có mặt nơi đây vì trách nhiệm giải trình rất quan trọng khi có hành vi thiếu đạo đức trong hệ thống tư pháp. Cái giá phải trả không chỉ là tiền mà nó còn làm mất niềm tin, nó làm gây tổn hại đến cho nạn nhân và nó tạo gánh nặng cho rất nhiều người đóng thuế và cho tất cả chúng ta. Chúng ta xứng đáng có một điều tốt đẹp hơn. Chúng ta cần sự minh bạch. Chúng ta cần lãnh đạo mà chúng ta tin tưởng. Chúng ta cần một hệ thống đặt người dân lên hàng đầu. Hôm nay chúng tôi kêu gọi sự thay đổi. Chúng tôi kêu gọi trách nhiệm. Và chúng tôi kêu gọi khôi phục niềm tin cho dân chúng. Tôi cam kết là sự minh bạch, an toàn và sự lãnh đạo đáng tin cậy cho cộng đồng chúng ta. Xin cảm ơn. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for joining me. My name is Daniel Chung. I am a prosecutor here in San Jose. We, community leaders, community activists, neighbors, are all here because we're concerned about the lack of ethics and waste going on under DA Rosen over the last 16 years. At a time when the county is bleeding billions of dollars, raising our sales taxes through Measure A, and is about to cut dozens and dozens of jobs here in Santa Clara County, it is unconscionable, the priorities of DA Rosen and what is going on in that office. And the complete implosion of the Stanford felony prosecution is a great example of the lack of ethics and waste going on in the DA's office. For the second time in recent memory, DA Rosen was kicked off of a case because he could not properly evaluate conflicts of interest. Those are huge ethical issues, and for him and the entire DA's office to be kicked off one of the most high-profile felony cases here in Santa Clara County, making nationwide, international headlines right now, is unconscionable, it's embarrassing, it's a complete failure for our office. It shows that ethics has been severely compromised. It shows that we are willing to burn through tens of millions of dollars on politically motivated prosecutions and prosecutions that ultimately don't succeed. It is unconscionable right now what's going on. He is currently being investigated by the Civil Rights Department, being sued by the ACLU. He is being sued by his own government attorneys union for violating union contracts. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, this repeated pattern of ignoring ethics, wasting money. And for him right now to be going in front of the Board of Supervisors and claim that they are responsible for all the money that he is going to lose, the safety that we are going to lose, the justice that we are going to lose, is the height of hypocrisy. Literally, he is paying prosecutors not to work. Literally, he is paying, using our county dollars, a private law firm, the Renee Public Law Group, millions of dollars to litigate his personal vendettas. This is not a DA who is committed to saving money for our county, for having ethics, and for fighting hard for victims. We need a new district attorney after 16 years who is going to take ethics seriously and make sure that we don't waste money so that victims of serious, violent, repeat crime get the justice that they deserve. Thank you so much for coming today, and here's Edward.
My name is Edward Escobar, and we did the recalls of the DA at Alameda County, Pamela Price. And why did we do that? Because the people demanded it, because the victims of crime were being neglected. And they reached out to us, they said, please help us. We had crime advocates that were on our team. And so they knew intimately all the stories of the victims of crime and their families that suffered. But more than that, communities suffered. So we have to say no to this continued misconduct. We have to say no to bad actors across the Bay Area and the state for that matter. California needs an overhaul. We need to address this. We need to put and prioritize public safety as being number one. And the DA's office, he's the top cop. He's the top cop for the county. So he needs to set the tone for law enforcement. And if he is failing and falling short as a leader, then we need a change and we need improvement because people demand it and we pay hard-earned tax-paying dollars for this service of protecting our communities. So we demand more public safety, 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 more public safety. Thank you. I'm Edward Escobar, the Coalition for Community Engagement, and thank you all for joining us here today. And is there any questions that you may have? Okay.
Are you calling for a recall? Is that what you're doing?
I'm saying that I participated as a significant leader in a recall.
Yeah.
But anything is possible. There's nothing that's off the table. If the people demand it, then we will do it.
We shouldn't need one. We should go for Daniel Chung on June 2nd, and we won't need a recall.
Yes. So an election is coming up. We have a primary June 2nd. So that's an opportunity to make your voice heard. Yeah. So you know what the options are. It's either a same continued misconduct and behavior that is not becoming of the DA's office, or it's time for change. And Daniel Chung has been exemplary, I'll tell you that much. He's always come out and stood for public safety. And I could stand up, testify for that. So I'm Edward Escobar. I'd like to thank you all for joining. Any more questions? All right. You have a question?
What will happen with the Stanford 11 trial? Is that still going to be pursued?
Okay, I'll pass that to Daniel Chung.
So because the judge kicked off the Santa Clara County DA's office, that decision is now with the Attorney General, who will have to decide if he's going to continue prosecuting it, reduce charges, dismiss the case, or maybe even appeal the judge's decision to recuse the DA's office. So I think all options are still on the table, but the decision now is with the Attorney General, and we hope he will arrive at the right decision and do the right thing. All right, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.